Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to Vinny the Axe. Happy holidays. Today I want to go over the Fender Custom Shop Relic 1961 Telecaster. This is a 2023 build. This one is in a champagne sparkle, and it has a 9.5-inch radius. It has 6105 frets. It has a twisted telly pickup in the neck, and it has a blackguard hand-wound pickup in the bridge. So, let's go over this guitar real quick. I took it out of the case, wasn't overly thrilled with it. Setup was, whatever. I knew I was going to have to do it anyway. But I had like this thing about it, like almost like a bad mojo thing. It was just like, I don't know, I strummed it a few times. I was like, I don't know if I really am digging this thing. And then I'm thinking real quick in my head, like, typical me, this guy's only going to last maybe a month and I'm going to sell it. Everything that I've owned in the last 35 years, all the guitars, which is a substantial amount of guitars, are all expendable and they're all gone. And I get new ones in and I sell them. I buy some and I sell them. It doesn't end with me. It really doesn't. And I've never had that one guitar that, you just keep. Like, I couldn't understand it. I have friends that have guitars and they've had them since day one and they've had them for 30-something years. And I'm like, I don't even get it. Like, could never understand it, really. Could never bonded with a guitar before. You watch even some of these guys that are like superstars and stuff. They're playing the same guitar for decades and decades and decades, and you're like, God, man, just why don't you get a new guitar? Thing's beat up, or it's got to be shot by now, or whatever. And I didn't understand that really until this guy. I started working on this on the bench, and the fretboard was super dry. Moisturized the fretboard. Took the strings immediately off. Put a set of 9-gauge that I like on there. Did saddle adjustments, did truss rod adjustments, was fiddling around with it for about a good hour or so, getting it dialed in. Actually, it took me a good time to get it dialed in. 9.5-inch radius, especially if you want to do a lot of bending on it. You really gotta kind of get like the saddle heights like set up really good. Anyway, I was playing it, got it all set up, truss rod adjusted, the whole works. Was playing it on the workbench, on my little workbench amp. Still wasn't like, I don't know, man. Like, this guy's going to be up for grabs, probably, like everything else. It wasn't until I brought it into the room, plugged it into the magnetone, and was blown away. I played this guitar probably for 3 hours straight, and that's not normal for me. Usually I'm just like, I tinker with it, get it running, jam on it for a few minutes, hang it up, and then move on to the next conquest. I don't know, it must be a psychological thing. Anyways, I was playing this thing for like 3 hours, and I was just floored. I had it on clean most of the time too, which I usually play with a lot of drive. And I don't know. I'm gonna say this now that this is the guitar. I'm not gonna be able to sell this guy either. Usually I look at these things like, okay, I got it for a good deal, probably could flip it, whatever, move on to the next thing if I don't like it. But no, not with this one. This one's staying, and I have to look at it as like, it's not a thing to sell. I really just bonded with this thing. I've never had that with a guitar before, ever, until now. And I'm probably going to play this 80% of the time, I would imagine. And, I have some other great guitars. I mean, I just got a Fender Custom Shop Strat, which I love, plays great, sounds great, looks great, stays in tune, tremolo works, and, everything's negotiable, right? I could sell it tomorrow and not even worry about it, and I'll just get another one, you know what I mean, or I'll find something else. Same thing with my rock and roll Relics, Thunders 2. Great guitar, plays great, looks great, sounds great, cool, but it's expendable. I could get rid of it, anytime, really. But this one, there's something about this guitar, it's got it. At least for me, it has it. Weighs about 7 pounds. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light where it feels delicate, if you kind of get where I'm coming from with that. The frets are super nice. They're dressed really well. They're 6105. Some people don't like them because they say they're too skinny. I don't know. They do the job and don't bother me. I get used to them, fairly quickly. So, it's not Relic really heavy. You could see some marks on the back, and on the front edge. And there's a couple little, like, what it looks like simulated dings or whatever. And there's like a little flaminess or flame mark in the headstock. But, I mean, action's nice. I got the action squared away pretty good. And just a good-looking guitar. And you know what I like about it, too? is that I'm not a big sparkle guy, you know, or like heavy metallic flake guy, but I like how they dulled this out or faded it out so it doesn't look so like in your face blingy, you know, if that's a term. Anyway, you're probably going to be seeing a lot more of this guitar in reviews because I'm just jiving with it, man. It's really, really, really cool. If you have any questions about the guitar, put it down in the comment thingy down there. I know some people are gonna, you know, have hate on it. I've been seeing a lot of people flip out over relics, you know, and all kinds of stuff. It seems to bring evil out of people. I don't know why, man. You know, if it was brand new, you know, if this was a brand new finish or an NOS finish from Custom Shop, I would have bought it anyway. It didn't matter whether it's relic or not relic, as long as it plays really good, which is the key. This has a lot of resonance to it, so when you strum it, you could feel the whole guitar resonate in your hands, which is nice. And it's a great sounding guitar. The pickups sound awesome. That twisted telly in the neck and that Blackguard pickup in the bridge, phenomenal. Both pickups sound great. So, you know, the thing is, I usually can nitpick any guitar. You know, every guitar I've ever had, you know, I'm lucky if I can remember how to get home at the end of the day, but I can remember like every guitar that I've had and what was wrong with that guitar to me or what I didn't like about it. You know, like, you know, this guitar, the neck is great, but the pickups are terrible. And, you know, I know that's a fix, but sometimes you don't want to like wrench on stuff, you know, it's not worth it. Sometimes, you know, I'll have a guitar like, it plays good, it sounds good, but I hate the color. I just don't like picking it up. So you want to be like attracted to the guitar, so you want to play it more. I talked about that in another video that I've done in the past. You have to like, I think, in my opinion, I think the guitar should call to you. You should like the way it looks, right? It makes you want to play it. So this ticks all the boxes, you know. And if I could be realistic, because you're probably like, Vin, there's got to be something, right? I'll give you one thing, one nitpick on this, and it's cool. It doesn't bother me. Is I love the clay dots on the fingerboard. Beautiful, love it. But it's got the clay dots on the side, and the clay dots usually wind up very close to the same color as the neck would, and it's very hard to see them in low light. So you can see them here on camera because I got some lighting in the room, but they're very hard to see in low light. Other than that, that's the nitpick. Everything else is fantastic on it. I'm totally thrilled. So, let that be a lesson to you, I guess. If you haven't jived with any guitars, there's eventually going to be one out there for you. You'll find it someday. It took me a long time, but I found it. So, anyway, thanks for watching Vinny the Axe. I hope you have a good holiday season, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy.